emotions can stop most people more than a baseball bat. I've asked so many people what hurts more, emotional pain or physical pain, and a lot of people say emotional pain even though they've been through a lot of physical pain. This may be stopping you from exercising, from eating properly, from just feeling happy. And in this video today, we're going to go over how to clear emotions. Not just with the information that's in this book, but certain steps and processes. Yeah, we're going to focus on the information in this book, and it's going to help you get to the point where you can exercise freely, where you can eat awesome foods, where you can be happy and not feel guilty about being happy, or not feeling guilty about being angry. Welcome, and thank you for being here. This book has touched me so much. Now, let me give you a little context. When King Solomon asked God when God asked King Solomon what he can have, he said knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He has a famous King Solomon prayer that I really love. It has helped me a lot to be able to serve people. And the prayer is, Lord, how may I serve people in a way that pleases you? And don't get that twisted. We don't need to please people and people please. We're here to be of service and help people in ways that we can help them, because all of us know how to do something so much better than someone else. Yet it comes so natural to us that we don't even think of it. So exercise and nutrition come super natural to me after 27 years of transforming lives and studying book after book. And I've realized that it's not just the nutrition and exercise books that really are going to make a huge difference with myself and my students or my clients. I've taught in university for over a decade. I've taught in commercial fitness centers and community fitness centers, and been a manager of large organizations like LA Fitness. And what I've learned over the years, it's not just that someone is stuck physically, like they're progressing, because that progression within exercise is awesome. You can't do very much in the beginning. It hurts a lot to do a little, yet if you're getting the right coaching, it's amazing because you just have to do a little and it affects you a lot, as long as you don't overdo it and get really sore, which can take years of a learning curve as a trainer to really be able to perfect as little as possible. So many trainers are good with as much as it takes, but the best trainers are there to do as little as possible to get effective results. Also nutritionists or dietitians or holistic coaches. And one part of wellness is emotional wellness. And if we don't process and let go and clear our emotions, then they will run our lives. Emotions are energy in motion, and they tend, just like beliefs, they build our behavior. In fact, when we emotionalize or emotionally charge thoughts, that's when they tend to become beliefs. So if we're not processing our emotions on a regular basis consistently, it's kind of like being constipated. You could think of meditation like taking a mental poop, to let go of all the information that you are processing and to feel the feelings, not to think about the feelings, to feel the feelings. Write that down on an index card so you could remember it and process your emotions. Feel the feelings. Not just feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That's awesome. Definitely do that in a regular, consistent basis, yet also process the negative feelings, process the hurt, the anger, the lack, the unsettling feeling, the desires that are unquenched, and really just process them and go through them. Don't get angry that you're angry. And if you do get angry that you're angry, process the anger that you're getting from being angry. When I say process, it means simply just feel the emotion, accept it. He uses, like, the first half of this book is really just about accepting the feelings and accepting and processing the feelings. Meditation is a great way to do that because you're literally just sitting and being still. Be still and know that I am God. You get to hear the infinite intelligence internally. You get to tap into cosmic consciousness, your true self, right behind you, above your head, where we call it the crown chakra, the aura that you see in pictures of holy people like Christ. We all have that, and we all tap into that cosmic consciousness. Yet, in our day and world right now, we run so much and do so much and consume so much without processing it. So after you consume, thank you very much, and consume this video and give me your attention, give your inner self attention instead of the outer world attention. Because our outer world is shaped from our inner reality. He talks about not just our projection of our outer world, right? Our inner reality creating our outer world is a projection, right? We're manifesting the situations, circumstances, people, places, and things to support our beliefs, our emotions, and thoughts. And he goes into detail in how that could be from past lives and a karmic effect that we're doing our best to learn something over and over again. And that's not just in this book, that's in many other really amazing books about processing our emotions, about consciousness, about happiness. And psychotherapy often uses hypnotherapy and past life regression. Many Lives, Many Masters is a book about that. It's interesting that it's pretty much just about one relationship of therapist and client, and they go through past life regression. She heals so much. And that brings me back to feelings. You don't necessarily need to go to past life regressions or hypnotherapy or all of these awesome things that are available, even yoga, to let out all of this emotion, to move, to meditate. You don't necessarily need to do all of them or any of them in any specific order. They're all just tools to help you feel the feelings. Right? Write on the card, feel the feelings. When you feel the feelings, you start to process them. The best way is to sit and be still and breathe. I really love to give a primer when I am meditating on a regular basis. Now, that doesn't mean when I'm angry, I run to meditate. Quite the contrary. Do it way before I get angry. Do it in the morning before I am around other people. I do my best. If I need to, I'll wake up or before everyone. And I really actually love to read first. Yet, before I see people, I'll make it a point to meditate. And it used to be for 1 minute just to create that habit. And now I've gotten it to be 30 minutes. It was 60 minutes at a time, and I found myself giving affirmations a lot, which I know is very beneficial for me. And I think it's very beneficial for most people because your self-talk or your affirmations, as long as they're sincere, create your state and how you feel. So if you're saying to yourself, I am great, I am awesome, or I am capable, I am worthy, whatever it is at your level that is positive and sincere, believable, achievable, like real for you. You're not just doing lip service. Your lips aren't getting tired from giving affirmations because they're not true. You want to give real affirmations. When that happens for me and many others, it helps us to experience that because your words create your world. So I like to prime myself, not for so long anymore. I used to do it for a half hour and then meditate for a half hour and really focus on breathing exercises. That's another way that's very helpful. Yet, I do really appreciate being in constant or absolute silence. And I even use something to cover my ears. This is like what they use at gun ranges. So if I put this over my head, I can't really hear anything. And then I will maybe wear an eye mask. I even kind of have an eye mask built in right here because it's a little silk headband, or a bandana could just cover your eyes. So shut the outer world off with closing my eyes, closing my senses, my ears and my eyes. And then I sit upright and get really relaxed. That's actually why I'm right here right now, is to be relaxed, to be able to speak to you so you can perceive the confidence and relaxation and the truth in this message. My truth. It may not be your truth. If you resonate it with this, it most likely will be your truth, because it wasn't my truth before I jumped into all of this knowledge with these books and then perfected my meditation to be able to really feel my feelings. And I prime myself with a few words saying, know thyself. I am pure love. I am pure consciousness. I am divinity. I am that I am. I am the Father are one. The kingdom of God is within me. The kingdom of heaven is within me. Be still and know that I am God. All ye are gods. I am the truth. I am the way. I am the light. I am the life. God takes care of my every need. In my house there are many mansions. God is the eternal source of my external, exquisite, endless, ever-loving, ever-faithful, ever-loving experience of my supply. Thank you, God. And may do some mantras, some hand motions to get me primed to receive. So I am tapped in with the highest form of myself instead of that complaining, criticizing, condemning little Dr. Jekyll we kind of all have within ourselves. Yet that makes our life miserable. It makes other people's lives miserable, but the person who hears all of your complaints and all of your lies is you. And the way to build up a happy life and confidence, which is really an amazing happy life, is to confide, the root word of confidence, to confide in yourself. Confidence. When you confide in yourself and you tell yourself you're going to do something, make it so that you will do it, even if it's super easy. If you are really lacking in doing what you're going to say, then say that you're going to do something that you always do. Like, I'm going to wake up. Whatever time you wake up with, accept it, right? Accept your feelings, accept your decisions too. I'll add to that, with appreciation so that you can change. Because if you keep on resisting and fighting yourself, your decisions, your projections, meaning the situations, the places, the people, the things that are surrounding you, your environment, you're just rejecting yourself, the projection of yourself, because you're all doing this to yourself so that you could experience it again, so that you could handle it in a loving, grateful way. The beginning gap to that is first awareness, acceptance, and appreciation. If you could be aware of what's going around you without, or doing your best not to give negative labels, let's start with that. Just do your best not to give negative labels for things. You know, not even saying things are good or bad is another way of looking at it, but just focus on the good as the first step with awareness, and then focus on acceptance. Even if you can't find a good, accept where you are, and then appreciate that you're doing this work, of awareness and acceptance. Appreciate that you do that. And it's amazing. It sounds silly, I know. Like I'm reading this whole book, it's like saying that over and over again, and I'm just like kind of like, I don't know if this is a good book. And then got to a certain few pages that just said something that really hit me different. And I'm not going to read too much here, but strong emotions are to be released by processing, by using breath and body work, entering into direct experience of the energy, by not avoiding it, but simply feeling it. Any emotion that comes up can be cleared instead of suppressed. And this is really powerful. Like, I've heard people say expression is the opposite of suppression, and it's not. And I know that, and this further hits the point perfectly, speaks it perfectly here, that expression could actually cause further suppression. Very short, not even a paragraph. Still, blameful expression may appear easier than non-reactiveness, because when we express, we avoid really facing and experiencing our feelings. We suppress them. This is the real motive behind blameful expression, and why expressing can feel like feelings are relieved. However, the negative energy is only driven deeper into the subconscious. If you can observe how this works in yourself, you will take important steps to gain control of your emotions. When strong emotions are felt, there is a movement of energy in the energy body. This is what an emotion is. If expression of negativity is ultimately self-defeating, how is the surge of energy to be handled? Right? Process it. So this is Emotional Clearing, written by John Ruskin. There's a little picture of that king there. Thank you, John. John, if you're watching this, contact me. Or maybe I should contact you, I guess. But I have an amazing book, and I'd like to read it with you. Y'all are amazing people here. Share if this helped. Subscribe if this helped. If this really helped, then you need more what I call holistic wellness therapy. Check me out at ogfit.com. I'm sure the link will be in the description or comments. ogfit.com, like onlygreatnessfit.com, ogfit.com, or organic fitness. ogfit.com. So you are amazing. And when I see, like my client the other day, when he progressed to really changing his lifestyle of the way he eats, such a simple little change, yet my Lord, he just like literally added 10 years to his life. Now, it must be done for years for it to add 10 years to his life. It's not just going to be 1 year or 2 years or 1 week. Yeah, I could see the transformation. Why? Because his fiance is a big part of it, making those food. And she was like, call Keith, you went for a walk, because he hasn't even exercised yet. Well, he's done 2 sessions of squats and 1 session of a 1 mile walk. And it's so awesome. I celebrate it because he's changing the way he eats, and he's changing the way he looks at and his relationship and identity towards fitness and nutrition and activity. So it's really prosperous. We're moving in the right direction. And, you know, patience is, he talks about patience in this book, like having expectations is your superpower. I've talked about that many times. It's one of your 4 superpowers is expectation. It's also belief in the future. Why would you expect something you don't want in the future? Why would you expect for negative results? That's one of the most insane things we could do. And as many people recommend to have no expectations, I have no idea how you could ever do that. That's like walking through, you wouldn't walk if you didn't have expectations. What do I mean by that? Because if there was hot coals on the ground, you wouldn't walk on them, right? And if you didn't expect to walk safely on each step and you were scared to step, you wouldn't walk. So if you're scared to exercise or fearful of eating healthy, then you won't do it. You might be saying, why would anyone fear eating healthy? Because of what you're losing, right? Your perceived loss is that you're not going to be around certain people. You're not going to be around certain places. You're not going to get this experience of these tastes. You're going to be culturally misidentified because you are going to a different culture, because food is culture. Yet every culture has a cleaner, healthier version of whatever food that you have been programmed to accept with appreciation as your culturally designed food. Don't believe everything that you believe, because if it's not serving you, your belief is slavery. And there is only two choices in a belief. Either it serves you or it slaves you. So maybe you could write down some of your beliefs with nutrition and fitness and see if they're serving you or slaving you. Maybe you can sit there and process your emotions, and after you process your emotions, you start to become more aware with appreciation and acceptance of your beliefs that the emotions are creating, right? If you start to have your heart pump in fear and anxiety every time you're about to go for a walk outside, then what are your beliefs surrounding exercise or just activity? Because going for a walk, let's be real, that shouldn't be exercise. That's activity. They're two different things. The OG Fit protocol in the physical world is pretty simple. 3 simple things. I base it on the largest studies. You could ask ChatGPT or AI, what are the 3 most imperative things you could ever do for your health and fitness? And it will just say this without prompting it with my research, because it's not really my research, it's just research. Activity outside, so you get sunlight and fresh air for 1 hour a day. Could be walking, could be playing tennis, skipping, dancing, singing. Activity, rowing, biking, right? There's so many activities. Just 1 hour is a small portion of our day. Should not be painful. That makes it kind of not count, y'all. Number 2 is 1 hour a week of strength training. So simple. You don't need a gym. You can do push-ups, squats, pull-ups, dips, V-ups, N-ups, so many different exercises just with your body, or a gym, or lifting some rocks outside. It has to be challenging enough where you can't just do more than 10, 20, or 100 reps. You know, like walking, you could do thousands of repetitions. It's not strength training, even though you may get stronger in the beginning because you are so untrained that just anything gets you stronger because you haven't been training. Okay, so there's progression to all of this. There's details behind the 3-step protocol. Again, number 1, activity, outdoors for an hour a day. Number 2 is an hour of strength training every week. Number 3 is eating 10 or more fruits and vegetables that are fresh, local, ripe, seasonal, and delicious, right? They should, organic, hopefully, or they should be seasonal and delicious. That makes them less expensive too. So the big picture is to emotionally clear and process all of the informations and feelings that you're feeling or that you're suppressing and you're trying not to feel, and just go to work, do a project, become a workaholic, do instead of be and feel. Feel how you feel, accept it with appreciation, have that awareness, acknowledge yourself, celebrate. You're amazing. And then you're gonna get to places where you never thought were possible, because you cannot think clearly if you are suppressing emotions. You cannot function clearly if you're suppressing emotions. You're amazing. Come back for more. Share if you care. Blessed love to you and yours. You're amazing. Go check out ogfit.com right now. Jump on a call with me if you need some help. If you're serious, we'll jump on a free call and see what is your plan of action. How can you clear emotions? What's your first step? It might not be drinking water, going for a walk. It might be visualizing. Is usually the first step. Visualize your dream. Yet that might not be the first step. Why? Because you might not even have a clear goal. Your goal might be in the negative of to not do something. So let's make it in the positive. Jump on a call, ogfit.com. Keep getting this good information. You're amazing. Subscribe, share, love, stay blessed. Thank you.